Happy December. I think the biggest month this cycle so far, as I think altcoin season has begun, and I think things are about to get a bit crazy. Either that or we correct down back to 70k. We'll deal with that when it happens, but for now, I think so far we've seen linear gains. Soon I think it becomes asymmetric to the upside. The Pareto principle, I talked about this so many times, how in the final 20%, 80% of the outcome occurs, and I think all of that has just begun. So like I said back on the 23rd of November, altcoin season has begun. So it's not that things were gonna go up 1000% that day, but more so, for example, back in 2020, the week it started, no one really knew. It's only now in hindsight where it seems obvious, but during that moment you can't really tell, which is why I sort of wanted to go out of my way and put myself out there by saying it's begun, and so far it's shaping up well. And so in a couple of my last videos, I gave a fair amount of altcoins to look into, and a lot of them are up 50 to 100% at the lower end. Athena, Aave, Phantom, Sui, Prime, Tau, sort of a good basket of crypto to pick up in the anticipation of this altcoin season. So if you got into any of those, just keep holding. So far so good. Now in this video, I will also give a list of altcoins I'm looking at, but eventually at some point there will be a shift from videos focused on buying to those focused on selling. We're not there yet, although I did begin with my first video, which was my last upload, but I can't exactly be, making buy these crypto type of videos when Bitcoin is at like 150k, ETH at 8k, Solana at 400, but we're not there yet. So some pretty exciting topics today, and obviously make sure you're subscribed. If you're not, you're missing out. I think we might have one of the best communities in all of crypto. Okay, so first, I need to talk about this concept that I first mentioned 8 months ago in preparation for this very moment and this very bull market. Okay, listen very carefully. It has to do with this pendulum that represents liquidity. So crypto has a bunch of narratives, and you've probably heard that, okay, this narrative is pumping right now. But then the mistake I see everyone make is chase that narrative. For example, for this bull market, when Trump won the presidency, the order of crypto pumping was we had meme coins go first, then DeFi pumped, then the AI sentient meme coin sector got started with GOAT and Zerbro and Bully. Then we had the Dino coins with XRP, XLM, HBAR. And during the very making of this video, we have DeFi with Ethereum and AI coins, specifically AI coins that are on chain on Ethereum. And what I keep getting every single time is people hit me up on IG, Twitter, email, and ask me what crypto should I buy in this pumping sector. But that's the thing, it's already pumped. And I tell them I don't know, I've already bought all these crypto. So AI on chain is pumping. I made a video on this last year, October 4th. It was 5 cents. It went up 10x to 50, corrected all the way back down to 8. And so I make another video again this year, September, at 10 cents, and it's now at 30, all because the narrative that is AI on chain is currently the biggest narrative right now. And so the way I see it is the pendulum swings, sticks to a narrative. All the liquidity gets pumped into that. When that's happening, why are you even looking there? You have to look at the crypto that aren't being touched. That is where you're gonna get the gains. I promise you, eventually every single narrative will be touched. Some with liquidity that is more frequent and intense than others, but that should be your focal point. So while on crypto Twitter and YouTube, everyone is talking about these crypto, guess where I'm looking? Crypto gaming. One of the biggest narratives in crypto, currently not in the spotlight, but it 100% will be, so let me take advantage right now. So that way, when crypto gaming finally starts pumping, while everyone starts making clickbait thumbnails and titles on that, which I do as well, but we'll be looking at the next narrative, which is not being touched. So let me now give you a list of gaming coins. First up, we have Mocha Network, made by Animoca Brands, one of the biggest gaming companies in the world. It launched in July and is pretty much the same exact price since then. And I think when gaming becomes really hot, one of the main focal points, it does very well. Just be careful though of the high FDV. That is the only downside. But once it starts pumping, that will be negated. Crown by Third Games is another one. A horse racing casino type of game that a lot of these big influencers like Alex Becker love. It has been ranging for weeks, and I think it'll break out once gaming gets going. Playable Games is another one, just doing nothing but ranging. Seedify Fund is just a classic pick. I'm also looking at Miria, Carrot, Shrapnel, Pixel, Mavia, and Nyan Heroes is also a big one. And just like how over these past days we saw OXO break out to the upside, Desync as well, Hash AI, all crypto we mentioned on this channel. I think some of these gaming coins I just mentioned will also do that. How much they go up, I don't know. And the point is, I'm not trying to shill tickers, but realistically, how do you get an entry on this crypto? Now, Desync probably goes up a lot more from here, but here's the problem. So at 50 cents, let's say you buy Desync now because you feel the FOMO, it's a good project, which it is, but after this aggressive rally up, it has a slight cool down and sideways period. While AI is cooling off, the pendulum would have already been stuck onto the next thing. So for the sake of it, let's say it is gaming and Mocha starts going crazy. Are you now going to dump your desync to buy Mocha? And then eventually when the pendulum comes back to on-chain AI and desync goes for its next leg up, do you then FOMO in for an even higher price? You're always going to be one step behind and constantly losing money. What I did back in the day was I just picked one sector and I ignored everything else. With gaming back in 2021, I became an expert. Eventually, gaming caught its bid. I was well in solo with all these crypto, Sandbox and Mana, and it changed everything. So for a successful trade, you need two things. There cannot be consensus and you need conviction. That is it. If something has consensus, meaning if everyone agrees to it, it's not a good bet. And the conviction part just allows you to hold throughout the entire time before that pump. Another topic I want to talk about is rotating your crypto. So like I said, altcoin season has begun, probably, and Bitcoin dominance has also probably topped. Back in August, I completed the biggest trade of my life. I sold my Solana for a 12x at $148 from my original average entry at 12 bucks. And I rolled all of those gains into DeFi, mainly Aave and Curve. Think about the insanity that I'm talking about. Selling Solana, the coin of the cycle, into Curve, that is not even a thing. But this goes back to that consensus and conviction idea. And it's all documented. Back in August, I made a two-part video on this topic. Right now, Sol is at 240 bucks. If I just kept holding, then from that $12 entry, I would be up a 20x right now. But with this rotation idea, I went into Curve when it was 20 cents. Now it's at 60, so a 3x now from that 12x is a 36x overall. So what is the point? It is pretty advanced, but this is a method to amplify your gains. For example, if you're holding Bitcoin, the likelihood of getting a 2x is pretty low, but at this point of the cycle, getting a 2x from an altcoin is coming readily. So let's say you bought Bitcoin at 30k. At 90k, you're up 3x. If you now roll that 3x into an altcoin that gives a 2x, that's a 6x overall. In order to get that by continue holding Bitcoin, BTC would need to get to 180k. If you feel uncomfortable with any of this, then continue holding Bitcoin. I do not advocate over trading your bags at all, but this is one of the 2 times this bull market in which I would say if you want to do that rotation, then this window may be it. And if you follow through with it, make sure to plot that altcoin versus Bitcoin or ETH or whatever crypto you're rolling out of. So for example, I rolled Sol into Curve. Here is the Curve Solana chart. I made that switch here, and this is how much I'm up since then. So far a good trade, and I expect that to continue to happen. But this last segment is only for those who are very serious about this whole thing. If you're not, then completely leave it alone. And I will leave this video there for now. I can't upload every day, I just can't. So if you want to see what I think, then follow me on Twitter. There is a link in description. For any of your trading needs, sign up to those exchange links in the description, and I'll be back when I'm back. But so far so good.